as always. Right, so as you guys know, there's the April district work period. Congressman Gabbard is looking forward to coming back, meeting with constituents. She's going to have a town hall in every island, including Molokai and Lanai.
Wow.
Okay.
Specifically, I know you guys were wondering about the one in Oahu. She'll be doing it in Kailua, April 15th in the evening. We're still working on the time and location. We'll get that through the usual communications that I described, newsletters, social media.
So does that have anything to do with Charlene Essling's communications with you for the Kailua Town Hall, or is this something separate?
Yeah. Well, this is organized by the office, and it's her town
Okay,
hall.
April 15th.
That's great.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's a Saturday.
Correct.
Is it?
Yeah.
Saturday is the tax march.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Will she be participating in the tax march?
I haven't heard a word, but I can ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what time on the 15th?
It'll be in the evening, and specific time we'll get that out, as I said, through the newsletter.
Yeah.
Like I promised, I can email you as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd be good if it didn't conflict with the tax march.
Understood.
Yeah.
You know what time that is?
12 to 2.
Yeah.
12 to 2.
So evening is good.
Yeah, evening is good.
And it's gonna be at a Kailua venue.
Yeah.
And to be determined?
To be determined. Yeah.
Okay. And Jimmy,
to-
regarding the tax march, she's certainly invited.
Okay.
And it will end here at the federal building.
Right.
Yep.
So even if she doesn't want to march,
She could tweet about it,
she could,
Stand outside.
you know,
Facebook about it.
and she, I'm sure we could find a way for her to be able to make remarks if she wanted to.
I'll pass it on.
Ala Moana Beach Park.
Two more things that she wanted me to update you guys on. She recently co-sponsored two bills. First is HR 676, Medicare for All, which is introduced by Congressman John Conyers of Michigan. She co-sponsored the legislation because she supports the principle of universal healthcare. There are some areas that she believes the bill can be approved on, and she's working on legislation for that. Second thing, as you may or may not know, HR 1227 is another bill she co-sponsored. She's a longtime advocate of criminal justice reform. As such, the legislation will essentially decriminalize marijuana and removing it from the federal controlled substance list. Before we kind of go into any questions or concerns you guys have that I can pass along, I also prepared a whole bunch of, a handout of things she's doing and, answers to the questions that you actually posed, a couple of you posed to me last week. So I'll go ahead and, hand
Here,
this
I'll
up.
take
Oh,
these around.
I think this is, thank you.
Did you give us the dates for all the town halls or just Kailua's?
Kailua's, yeah.
Is that a beneficial thing to have, is the list of all the town halls so that if
We're
people
working
can't
on the
make it?
logistics, yeah. So
Can I snap a picture of that, or can you give me
I
the
don't
dates?
have that, yeah.
Oh, you only have the
They'll-
date for the
I only have the
Kailua,
Kailua.
okay,
They'll
got
send
it.
it out probably
Yeah.
in
Just
an email,
checking.
Actually, yeah. So by the end of this week, we're hoping to get the final details specifically on the Kailua. So, yeah.
Everyone get one?
Here, Simone.
Is this the same?
Got extras.
Carrie,
Yeah.
that's what you're interested in, so
Oh, okay.
at the top.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, yeah. So any questions or concerns you guys have?
I'm just reading this, it says,
Sure.
earlier you may have received an email asking you to phone Representative Gabbard to seek her support and resolution of inquiry into Trump and Sessions' ties to Russia. But, Representative Gabbard is already a supporter, so if you do that on the phone today, please say thank you. So how is she doing that? Do you have any idea? I mean, what does that mean? Yeah, what is she supporting? It says she's already a supporter, so she's a supporter of
Sorry, what do you read?
This is Russia. It's
Yeah.
Russia. How's her? What's her take on Russia and the investigation that's going on? Where does she
Or
stand?
what is the
Then-
email coming from?
Actually, this came from Move On,
Okay. Okay.
but it's somehow
HR 356 to create a special commission to investigate Russian interference in our elections. We want those hearings and we need her to support that. HR 186, a resolution of inquiry directing the Secretary of the Treasury.
I missed the first. No.
356 is the first one. The second one is to get his tax returns.
Tax returns.
We need her to support both of those.
I haven't seen anything come from her that says
Right,
she's doing that.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So specifically again, the support co-sponsor.
186 and 356. Tax returns and an independent hearing of Russian tax.
And we'd like her to be vocal about Nunes recusing himself
Yep.
from the intelligence,
Yep.
or from the
Yeah, do you have
investigation.
any info on that from her?
I don't, but I'll
We
ask
would
the
like to
question.
find out.
Yes.
Understood.
I think maybe, ma'am, to your point, I think it's HR 184 that Move On is referring to. That's on this handout Jimmy just
Is
gave
it?
us in the middle there, which is a step. It's a good step, but there's more.
Is it, which page is,
It's right in the middle of the first page.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
HR 184 requesting the president and directing the AG to transmit documents to the House.
Oh.
Blah 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 blah. So I
Okay.
think that's the one that Move On
Oh,
is
here it
probably
is.
talking about.
Okay, so she's addressing something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That is
What do you
co-sponsored by
specifically
her.
write? Okay.
HR 184, okay.
Yeah, I think if you could convey to her, Jimmy, that we would just love, again, it's the power of her voice, she's got a loud voice. And one that is listened to, and one that's listened to on foreign policy issues. So, we'd like to hear her out there when she's making the talk show rounds, also talking about transparency in this administration and its ties to Russia and how important that is to national security, to foreign policy,
Yeah.
to all of the things she cares about. This is her,
Yeah.
this is her Kuliana, this is her bailiwick. And so if we could get her voice there and really know that she wants to see us get to the bottom of this, and we would like to know how she feels about Nunes continuing to chair the committee and lead the investigation on the House side, given his dalliances late at night at the White House.
Well, I mean, aren't they like starting to look at investigating the transition team, and he was part of that transition team?
Yeah.
So how can he give like a
He's
biased
totally
oversight of
conflicted.
that?
Yeah, we just need a transparent investigation onto Russia, and we consistently see Trump properties, Russian oligarchs. It's looking like a pattern, so we want that investigation to be as transparent as possible, and he just is so entangled in everything, we just need him out.
Yeah, and he's closing the door when he wants to close it.
Right.
Yeah.
Showing what he wants to show.
So again, specifically as far as actions from us you would like her to speak on these issues on top
Yeah,
of
I'd like to, it goes back to what we've said many times
Yeah.
here. It's hard for us to know how firmly in this corner she is. She's choosing what to focus her energies on, and she has seemed relatively silent on the issues of corruption, Russia, transparency, Steve Bannon's role in the White House and why he's there. We would like to know that she is as vigorous and active as we are
So,
in trying to bring these dealings to the light of day.
So I suppose your request is not whether she is or against,
Right.
whether there's transparency. That I feel that has been established. It's just the extent.
Yeah. I don't even know that we've established
I don't know
how.
if we've established that. I mean,
Yeah.
I look through her
We
Twitter
want
feed
it
and her Facebook
clearly
feed, and I don't
established,
see.
and we want her to be consistently vocal about
Yeah.
it.
It's a little concerning that the focus is on legalizing marijuana. I mean, honestly.
That's a good.
You wanna know where that is in the list of priorities?
Yeah.
It's not even on the radar.
It's not on the list right now.
Not even on the list.
I mean, before this, I looked through her Twitter feed and her Facebook feed and like what's been posted, and I didn't really see anything on real strong about her position on this, like Russian ties and the investigations that's happening.
So
here.
essentially more messaging.
Yeah.
Because as we kind of discussed, she's a co-sponsor on the Mahalo resolution, Stephanie Murphy's bill regarding Steve Bannon, or I suppose National Security Council. So again, it's kind of the extent of prioritization,
Right, I mean,
communication.
Tulsi understands how this game is played. I mean, she can be extremely vocal on those things she cares about.
Yeah.
And she can be extremely quiet on those where she wants credit for showing up but not actually having done any heavy lifting. And I think our message is we're not giving credit for just showing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not business as usual. And I'm with her on the marijuana issue, fine, that's fine. you know, we were up with Maisie's staff, and Maisie signed on to a letter supporting the women's professional hockey team, and we were like, yeah, go. It's not that those things have to all go away, but this is not business as usual, and there are a lot of other things that her constituents really care about, and we just aren't finding her in that communication stream. Her Twitter feed up against her colleagues' feeds is almost laughable. You know, you've got Shots, Maisie, and Colleen going off about everything from ACA to Nunez to Russia ties to the immigration ban, and then you've got Tulsi talking about marijuana legalization, and it just,
it's a disconnect.
Well,
it's a disconnect.
Well, and the problem too is that there's a lot of distractions in the Trump campaign, and so the other representatives are being very good at staying focused on this Russian investigation and the Russian ties, which is where the focus needs to be, right? Because I mean, Trump, for somebody that said that there was 3 million undocumented voters, wants us to be real quiet about like Russia and Russia interfering in our election. So I mean, that focus needs to be there, and so our other representatives have been very vocal about that and trying to keep that focus there and not going in towards the distractions. And so we're watching him, like Paul was saying, not play in the rules, you know, and our democracy is threatened. And so we need our representatives to recognize that and be vocal about that and be strong against that.
I think our message is this isn't business as usual, and this isn't just we were talking about this with Alan and Senator Hirona's office. You know, there are people here who thought George W. Bush was the devil himself, and there were probably people who didn't support Bill Clinton, and in both of those cases, you know, your guy lost, and you went home and you felt bad about it, but 4 years later you either voted him out or you know, this isn't that. This isn't us saying this isn't our guy. This is us saying this guy is looking to dismantle our government and everything it's built upon.
Which has been specifically stated by Steve Bannon.
Yes.
That is what his objective is, and it's happening.
Right before
and
our
we
eyes.
are well aware
Right
that,
before our eyes.
and we are well aware that Steve Bannon thinks the world of Tulsi Gabbard.
That's right.
And so that is concerning.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a tie that is concerning.
Kind of the way I feel.
Well, he set up the meeting with her and Trump. I mean, that was reported in, I think, The Atlantic.
All the it's been widely reported. All White
And
House
then-
staff report repeatedly
and I mean,
that Steve
after-
Bannon wants Tulsi, and every time he has an idea.
Yeah, after that meeting, he made that comment that he was happy to have her in any committee and stuff. And we don't like what Steve Bannon represents and what he's going to do for this, what he's trying to do to this government. And so, you know, she needs to be vocal about like severing that tie if she's really.
You're known by your friends.
Yeah.
Be careful who you hang out with.
Yeah. And he has made it clear publicly and through comments picked up secondhand from White House staffers that he's a huge fan of hers.
Okay.
And I guess the message is her constituents aren't a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I can't speak on her behalf, but there is no relationship there. That is, you know.
Okay,
she's
but she can be vocal
I
about
understand. That is what she said. I can absolutely pass along your
We
again,
needed to
repeated
tweet about it.
understand. Your
That'd be good.
coordination
So
with
Steve
what-
sees it.
So the world sees it.
Denounce Steve Bannon and what he stands for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Denounce Steve Bannon and what he stands for.
And it is more than just co-sponsoring a bill. Co-sponsoring a bill is business as usual. This isn't business as usual.
So co-sponsoring is okay. Business as usual.
I mean, that's not enough. It's a start, but it's not enough.
I kind of feel like she's walking in between the two parties and doesn't want to upset either side of the apple cart. She may have aspirations to run for president, I don't know. But as her constituent, I don't feel really that she's supporting the way I feel about things. And I'm looking at this HR 1181, the gun control. You know, you read that and you think, oh my God, they're going to give the guns to these mentally unstable veterans. But she looks at it as a discriminatory thing. I'm not sure
I think
what that actually means.
Yeah, and I think that there's like the perspective too, right? There's such high suicide rates with like veterans.
Right.
With
So
post-traumatic
why would she
stress, so,
vote
like,
yes on a gun control
And I think all of these concerns
item like that?
aren't to like pick at Tulsi, but to show that there's a difference in perspective. And so we want to see if she really stands on this side and she fights for these things. We just want to know that and we want to feel that.
That's fine. I understand. Yeah.
Can I say one more thing about the town hall?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you guys have a sense of how it'll be structured? Like, will we all be able? We attended a great town hall in Kailua, and they passed out 3x5 cards to everybody. Everybody got to write down questions, and then there was a moderator, and he passed the cards out to the Thielens and all the other Jeff Chin, I think it was there. It was awesome. It was run really professionally. There were 200 to 300 people there. Nobody got out of control. People got answers, and so. Is she gonna come with something prepared that she's just going to like
Right,
talk about,
great
or
question.
are we
That's
gonna get
based,
to
yeah.
like either
Ask
submit
questions.
questions ahead of time or like on the spot? It really had a great impact when everybody could just write down their own little question that they had and lots of topics got covered, and it was just awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that there would
We
be
would like to be able to ask questions,
Yeah.
not just have a prepared speech.
Yeah.
I think what ended
But
up
it is a
working.
town hall. So
Okay.
Yeah.
But some town halls have
We'd
not
like
gone
to
that
have that
way.
confirmed.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, I think what worked out nicely at her last town hall in the end was there was just a line, and you'd get in a line, and the person at the front of the line would ask the question and so forth. So rather than calling on specific people, which kind of didn't work out very well, just to have a line for people who want to ask questions.
So line cards.
Yeah, the cards were great because the moderator like passed them out, and then if there were duplicates,
You could
and
kind of go through it.
right, they kind of went through it, but everybody. I mean, my question got answered, and I was like, oh.
But wait, is it constituent asking the question or the moderator?
The moderator asked the question, and the individual did not ask the question.
I think
So
it's
there's
better.
a way it could be
Individual
filtered.
Yeah, I think
No,
it's
I would
better
just-
for the go ahead.
I would argue
Yeah.
I think we
that
should be lucky.
this is not our Kuleana.
I got
Mm.
We hear you that you're holding a town hall,
Yeah.
and we ask that there be opportunity for constituents to ask questions.
Right.
Whether you give out green, yellow, blue, or pink index cards, or a mic or get
Right.
called on, we trust you guys.
Just a way.
We trust you guys to figure that out.
Understood, but your request is having
Yes.
individuals
Yeah.
being able to answer questions, and
Yeah.
preferably, I suppose, for in person. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
We
good,
don't want to be the
speech
backdrop
then,
to
yeah.
a speech. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just a dialogue with her, since the other offices, they've just been better at having a consistent dialogue with us. Like Alan is excellent at relaying information from us and the DC office, and Schatz met with us for an hour.
Maisie met with us on the webcast.
Yeah. And really the last town hall was just kind of thrown together, so I'm appreciative that you're planning something in advance, but just communication is very important to us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want you being in a position where you feel like you're on the losing end no matter what you do
Yeah.
in this conversation. We appreciate.
Yeah, no.
We
And I
appreciate
want
what
to thank
you're
you.
doing.
I mean, we walked in here today, Jimmy, and you had this for
Yeah,
us,
Yeah,
and
this
you
is
had
great.
the announcement for
That's
town
great.
hall.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
thank you.
huge.
Thank you.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I mean, we know she's doing stuff, but obviously there's a disconnect in what you're telling us she represents and what people are perceiving. And so there may be something to look at on your guys' end with the communication channels that you're doing.
That's a lot.
So we here in Hawaii, this is my take on it, and I'm only new at this, so feel free to tell me I'm wrong. But what we're doing here with our representatives, we are trying to ask them to be more vocal on these issues. So this is Hawaii. I'm hoping that all the other 49 states have groups such as ours going to their representatives to make them more vocal, because as we spoke before, Democrats need to be more vocal.
Yeah.
They need
Yes.
to get off their backsides and start talking loudly
Yeah.
and together about, it seems every day there's a new issue from the what's his name? Trump, that's right, campaign, that needs to be attended to, and not by just one Democrat, all of them need to.
There's so much happening. It's just overwhelming.
It's crazy.
And a lot of it's just smoke. It's just insane. So it's like picking and choosing.
Yeah, you're
What's the
fine.
most important thing today, right?
That's why the focus on the preservation of the institutions of democracy.
Yeah, we can't let
We
Bannon.
cannot let that get eroded, because when the time comes when he's gone, we're gonna be left with a mess. As it is already, it's gonna be a mess when he's gone.
Yeah. I mean, the public trust is going to be completely broken.
We're gonna have to be complete, we're gonna have to have some very special person be the president of the United States.
Tough job.
Anything else, gang?
I think we're good.
So just one more thing on the town hall.
Yes.
So I am right.
Focus,
I don't
focus.
even know where I stand with Maisie. Okay, I mean Tulsi. But I'm looking so forward to a town hall where I can actually see and hear for myself and get a sense of where she's coming from. So that's why the town hall is so important, because it's a real face-to-face. You can rely on your intuition and really connect with somebody, and that's why that's just so important. So.
Absolutely.
Are you communicating directly with these Kailua folks? Is there somebody who's like the
Charlene
person?
has been in contact with
Okay.
him regarding
But she's
and
gonna be gone.
regarding
You should
the
maybe,
Well, but she'll get the message to her,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yeah,
put it
yeah,
out
yeah,
on
but
the,
why
like
don't
you
you
just
let
like
one
a
of us
regular
know and we'll
email
on
to
that.
us.
Yeah.
You let one of us know and we'll
Yeah,
on that.
we'll pass.
I'm on her
pass it.
email and I'm on her.
Yeah, we'll pass whatever information you give us.
And I want to see lots of
Social media.
Twitters, lots of tweets. Please.